Hey there, degenerates! Whether you know it or not, today is a very special day, which is why you're seeing this and not Oblivion. If you go back and look at my very first video, Oblivion Oddities 1, Bad Luck Daedra, you'll see that this is the 2nd anniversary of me releasing videos to YouTube. Hooray! Everybody celebrate. Even you, Gozer. No, you're just gonna sit there and wash yourself because you're a jerk. Well, fine. We can celebrate, and I plan to celebrate by bringing back a game that I haven't touched for a while. At least not on camera. So, this is Let's Celebrate with Final Fantasy VII. Oh yes. Oh yes. Now, you may remember that I am working on a max stat file. In the last year and whatever, I've made significant progress in that. Barret and Cloud, excuse me, Yuffie and Cloud. Forgive the oddity with the names. At the start of the file, I just decided I was tired of everybody's names, and they were going to have each other's names instead, because I'm weird like that sometimes. Anyway, they're done. Completely done. Sid, he's a bit closer. Well, you can't get closer than done. He's close to done. He needs about 70 spirit. But spirit is one of the sources that is harder to harvest. And forgive me for stuttering, but I'm watching my cats start to groom each other and then begin the battle. Because they're always fighting. Because they're big sillies. And let's take a look at some of our other stats here. Some of them are a little messed up because... Let's go ahead and remove all this materia because of the materia that they're wearing. But as you can see, Barret's about halfway done. He needs significant work on 3 of his stats, but those are the stats that are hardest to get sources for. Tifa, much the same. And I still have got her materia on her. And we're going to go over materia a little bit later, but first I want you to have a view of their stats, because they have changed a little bit. They've gotten boosted a little bit. I made sure to have them all... No. I have made sure to have them all in a multiple of 5. That way I can... Okay, that's kind of odd. His spirit should have +5. I don't know why it doesn't. Apparently I have more work to do than I thought. But the reason I'm gathering, or having all their stats end in 5, is so that I can give them sources 10 at a time. It's a little weird, I know, but it just makes it easier for me to remember. But apparently I screwed up somewhere. Maybe I forgot to save last time. That's delightful. No, it just looks like I skipped over red. And here is the character I'm currently working on. Vincent, or Sephiroth, if you like. Materia needs to come off of him. There we go. And I've made good gains in his magic, especially. He's only got about 90 magic to go. 120 strength and 150 spirit, but I'm going to finish Sid's spirit first. So that's everyone's stats as they stand. And have I yet stripped you of materia? No. So everybody should be materia free. Good. That brings us to the second thing I want to look at. My materia. You'll notice I have 7 Master Magics. But you might be thinking, well, you're working on the last one then. But you gotta remember, I haven't beat Emerald or Ruby on this file. So I will be getting a 8th Master Magic materia from Emerald Weapon when I defeat him. Therefore, I'm done with Master Magic, and that is a sweet, sweet feeling. Oh, that took so long. You can also see some final attacks. I'm working on having a final attack combined with Phoenix for every single character. Now, I know you only need 3, but it's just how I roll. Sneak attack has been very helpful for getting the sources, and I'll show you that fairly soon. I have a bunch of alls in intention of pairing them with the master magics you saw above. Mostly just for healing everybody at the same time, but there could be other effects. I'm also working on some more alls for cash purposes and keeping myself amused. And we get to the command materials. And what do you know? 7 master commands. Yep, done with master commands. I've got all 4 enemy skill materia, and I think they're about as built up as they can be. There might be a magic missing here and there. Some of them are one of a kind, though, so what are you gonna do? Manipulate. You'll see I'm working on morph. Reasons I'll explain later. I've not really bothered with the W's just because they're not much use aside from the W item trick, but you don't need a master for that. And we'll get into that later too. Now, something more important, double cut. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, got one for everybody. I have a slash all, and that is mostly just for dealing with or taking care of small enemies. I had that trained when I was working on Luck and Speed, but that's all done now. And I have a bunch of counterattacks that I've not really been working on. Counterattack is okay, but there's more useful things I can do with my time and my materia slots. Some preemptives, enemy lore just to get more enemies. Gozer, get your head out of there or I'm gonna beat you. Gozer! Ridiculous cat. Gil plus just for the heck of it. I don't need luck or speed plus because they're all maxed on everybody. HP plus, however, yep, I got 8 of those. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 MP pluses as well. And here we get to the master summons. 3, 4, 5. That's it. Yep. I'm still working on my master summons. I need 2 more, and it's because of this little booger. Oh god, that just takes way too long to level up, even at triple AP growth, which Cloud has right here, as well as Sid, but it's not really doing any good because you can only grow one at a time. They don't exactly copy quickly, so I'll be at that for a little while longer. But everything else, I already have the 2 copies of I need. That's how long it takes. And that's pretty much it for materia. Like I said, I'm working on Final Attack Phoenix for everyone, but after that, the Master Summons are done. I'm pretty much done with materia. I don't know if I'm going to finish it down here in the airship, though, because the AP growth, not great. One more thing I want to show you. These are the 3 sources I'm working on. I'm trying to accumulate 10 at a time before I feed them to anybody. It's a slow process, and soon you'll see why. You may see that I've got 99 of a bunch of stuff. I use the W item trick. Oh, I need to dupe those. The reagent greens. I've got, but pretty much anything you can use in battle, I've got 99 of. You'll also notice some things I have 99 of that don't get used in battle. That's because I went around at a time where I was extremely bored and spent all my gil on getting a bunch of weapons for everybody. It's not a perfect file, but it's going to be about as close as I can come. Unfortunately, I sold some of the early weapons and I can't get them back, but what are you going to do? I don't know that I'm going to get all of anything. Some of these you can morph, like... where are you? I don't know where it is, but there are some... Oh, here we go. with Adaman bangles. You can get these by morphing a certain turtle on the coast of Wutai, but again, getting 99 of those would take about half of forever, so I don't know if I want to do it. So that's it for items. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to reset, because I stripped everybody's material off, and that's kind of a pain in the butt to put it all back on. So, yes, you will let me continue. And you'll notice that I've got some different funky patterns. These are both my files. Not this one, but this one and this one. Because I get bored of the color scheme really fast, and I'm always wanting to play with it, so. Hence the purple and silver and whatever I've got going on in this one. So here's my current materia setup. She's got Master Magic because she's my healer right now, and Mega All for everything. So she doesn't actually wearing a Slash All right now. She doesn't need it. My enemy skill, simply for Magic Hammer. That way I don't have to use an Ether to restore her magic. I don't know why I don't, because I can just clone them, but, you know, whatever. Good habits and all that. Enemy Lure for more encounters, HP plus, MP plus, Gil plus, just because, just cuts. I had enough Gil after all my exorbitant spending spree to still have some, but I like having Gil. Cover, I don't know, just I stuck on there. Sneak attack, I'm trying to grow another one of those to pair with another morph. I'm hoping that I might be able to sneak attack morph more frequently with it. If I have a clone. That's enough of that. I'm growing my alls on Sid because I'm a silly person, and it gives me something to do to ward off tedium, because this is a tedious process, let me tell you. HP plus, for obvious reasons. MP plus, I don't know why that's on there, but I just stuck it on there. And these are the 3 materia I'm still working on growing. Phoenix, unfortunately I need 8 of those. I did not catch on that I should be growing them more frequently until recently, so that kind of sucks. Final attack, which I still need 4 of, and then Knights of the Round, of course, which takes for freaking ever. So let's take a quick look at the process. I don't know that I had time last time. That was back in the days of 10-minute video limit. And watch, this is going to be that flower thing. It's the flower thing. The first battle in this room is always this guy, Unknown 2. And I don't know why. And you may have just witnessed Yuffie... You may have just witnessed Yuffie attack before the battle even really got started, and that's because of that sneak attack morph. Makes morphing these guys a little quicker. It worked really well when I had a bunch of enemies all at once and I wanted to morph them all at once. Now it's just, you know, that first hit is out of the way. And you can see my counter up is actually working for once. It doesn't always. Ah, and here is one of the enemies that I was particularly looking for. You note me going to morph right again, but this is the unknown one. And it is orange, and it blasts me, and this blast never misses. But it doesn't hurt very much anymore either, so that's not too bad. And that is the source of my power sources. He doesn't give a whole lot of AP. It's not the least useless thing for AP, but it's close. 150, which in the triple growth is 450, so you can see why now it takes so freaking long to grow anything down here. Ah, speaking of the least AP growth you can get, and you can see that sneak attack pops a lot, but I want it to pop more, because sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, oh, for once it didn't use Aqua Lung to counter being hit. And this is the source, so to speak, of my mind sources to raise my spirits. It's also a freaking rare enemy. I'm surprised I ran into one so quickly. So that's why spirit growth is so very, very slow. And you'll note it also gives 70 AP, which is the absolute worst down here. A max of 210 AP, not great. For the best AP growth, you have to kill the flower thingy, which gives guard sources if you're still working on defense, but you can get them in multiples up on the surface, so I wouldn't recommend that. But if I want a little more AP growth, I'll kill them. Like thus. Oh no, Yuffie is getting confused. She does not have a ribbon on, she has a... Oh, it missed her. She's wearing Mistile, so magical attacks often miss. But she's got a speed ring just to make her that little bit faster than everybody else. And as you can see, 300 AP for a nice 900 boost. But since the materia is growing so slow now, it's going to take half of forever for that to make any difference. I would say those Unknown 2 are the most common enemies down here. I've actually run into times where I've run into them like 4 or 5 times. But fortunately, here we are with Unknown 3, which is the final source of sources. They're also the source of lightning bolts that kind of hurt, but only kind of. And with all that magic, you might guess that they change into magic sources, and you would be right. They also are the source of 200 AP, which is the second best AP growth around here. And there you have it. I actually didn't expect to run into those guys quite so fast, but this is the process I'm undergoing. So, you might be asking how many sources I still need, and that's a fair question. The least amount I need is for Sid, obviously, who's working on his spirit. Vincent needs a total of 360 more sources, and he's doing second best. Barrett needs 430, Tifa needs 440, Red also needs 440, and Kate Sith needs 430. That's a total of 2,170 sources. One at a time. Now you can see why this is taking me so long. But that number has drastically changed since I showed it last. I think we're still over 2,500 then. So I'm making progress, slow that it might be. So this has been it for Let's Celebrate with revisiting Final Fantasy VII. Tune in about a year or so, and you'll hopefully see an update. But I kind of hope you tune in before that to see the rest of my stuff. But if you're only interested in Final Fantasy VII and this glacially slow rate of growth, then tune in about a year or so. Okay, thank you very much, Degenerates. Happy anniversary to me, and thank you all so very much for watching and keeping me going, because honestly, I wouldn't have made it past the first year if it wasn't for your guys' comments, like encouragement, and regular degeneracy. So, thank you, and good night.